guys, and welcome to YogaFlex. I'm going to get you to come down onto your mat. So we're going to start in child's pose with those knees out nice and wide, big toes connected, resting that head down on the floor. I'm going to get you to take some nice long deep breaths and welcome yourselves onto the mat. Your time to steal out of the day. Just connect with the body and the mind. A couple of more breaths here. Just letting go of any tension you might be holding through the body. Just checking in and noticing how you're feeling right now. And we're going to come into our practice without expectation. Give our body permission to move in a way that feels good for us this morning. I'm going to get you to inhale. Let's rise up onto all fours and ground down through the knees, ground down through the palms. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Let's start to draw a nice circle with your body here. Circling round. Sitting on the heels, reaching up and over, taking that beautiful rotation. And let's go the other way. Working deep into the shoulders, the knees, the hips, the wrists. And then let's settle into stillness. Work our body into that neutral position. A little drop with that belly, pressing down through the palms. And let's come into our cat and cow. Let's inhale, lift the head and tailbone, drop the belly to the floor. Exhale as we arch the other way, just moving through that spine. Visualizing those vertebrae moving as we take our cat and cow. Let's take two more. Breathing in if you can when you take our cow stretch, breathing out into our cat. And bring it into that center position. Let's take a gentle rock forward and back. Working into those wrists, spreading the fingers wide. Excellent, bring it to center. Let's slide those hands all the way to the front of the mat. Melt the heart down, head onto the mat, hips nice and high. Gentle stretch out through the back and the shoulders. Bring those hands back in underneath the shoulders. We're going to take a nice moving thread the needle. Bring that hand behind the ear. We're going to inhale, open. Exhale, close. We're just going to take a few rotations through the spine here. Taking that breath as we inhale and open. Breathing out as we bring that elbow through nice and low. Couple more times here. And on this last one, let's inhale, open that arm up nice and wide, thread through, push all the way underneath, and just take a couple of breaths, maybe walking the fingertips to the end of the mat and melting that armpit down in towards the floor. Pull that hand back. Let's push it back to tabletop. I'm going to get you to take it to the other side. Hand gently behind the ear. We're going to take that inhale, that exhale as we stretch out through the thoracic spine, through the muscles in the upper back. Taking that deep breath. Beautiful, guys. Keeping those hips nice and square to the mat. Really working deep into the upper back here. Let's take one more. Big deep breath. Open up as wide as you can. Thread through. Walk those fingertips if it feels good towards the end of the mat. To our tabletop, pull that hand underneath the shoulder, push and ground down through the palms, little rock forward and back. This time let's tuck under the toes, stretch out through the soles of the feet. We're going to start thinking about coming into our first downward facing dog. Walk the hands forward just a little. Let's lift up through those hips, walk the dog, pedal those knees. Ground down through your heels a little. Lift those hips up high towards the ceiling. Easy breaths. Press through those palms. Let's inhale. Let's take it forward to a plank. Hold it strong here. Dropping your knees if you need to here. Spreading those fingers wide. Energizing through the arms here. Drawing up through the belly button so we're engaged through the core. Push it back, downward facing dog. Maybe working a little bit deeper into those hamstrings. Let's inhale, back to plank. Hold it strong, building some heat through the core here. Hold. One more time, push it back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. We're going to walk our feet all the way to the front of the mat. Release up onto those fingertips. Take a forward fold. Generously bending those knees if you need to here. Let's bend those knees. Let's gently roll up through the spine all the way to standing. And settle those shoulders down. Away from your ears. Palms forward. Take a nice breath here. We're going to take a mountain pose. Let's inhale, reach and tall. Hands to ceiling. Engage through the legs without locking those knees. Exhale, forward fold. Release that head down towards the mat. Maybe hands on the floor, maybe resting on your shins. Let's inhale, take a half fold, flatten out the back. Out, hands down. We're going to walk it back to the mats. Hold it in plank. This time we're going to take a twist over to the side. So we're going to come over and lift. Now you can drop that knee here into a half plank position. Holding strong, straight arms. Let's bring it back through to center. Plank could be on the knees if you wanted. Let's take it over to the other side. Inhale, open. We've got that full plank variation. Bring it back to center. Let's take our downward facing dog. Inhale, start to walk to the front of the mat. We're going to take that deep forward fold. Maybe being able to straighten the legs a little bit more here. Bend the knees. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose. This time maybe starting to layer in a little bit of a back bend. We're going to step back. Right leg, warrior one. So hips stay looking at the front of the mat. Hands overhead, reach it tall. Beautiful. Step it through to the front of the mat. Let's take it down. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Hands down. Walk it to the back of the mat. Hold it in plank. We've got these side plank variations. We're going to come over Beautiful, guys. Now, see if we can come into fallen star. Bring that front forward, reach it up and over. Back through to plank, hands down. Let's take it to the other side. Over we go. Step that front forward, reach the hand over, fallen star. Bring it back through to center. Let's push it back, downward facing dog. Deciding whether you're straining the legs or you're going for a bit of a soft knee and really working deep into those shoulders. Let's inhale, walk to the front of the mat, forward fold. Release, breathe out. Bend those knees, inhale, rise. Hands overhead. Step back, change sides, so left leg back, warrior one, reach it tall. Generously bend into that front knee, so we're looking to get that front knee stacked over the ankle. Hips square to the front, big stretch through the calves, the Achilles. Let's breathe out, step to the front of the mat. Inhale, forward fold. Let's just take a ragdoll arm here, a little bit of rest before we go into that fallen star flow. Hands down, walk it to the back of the mat, take the plank. Let's come over into our plank. Open up, step through, fallen star, reach over. Take it back. Through, let's change sides, over we go. This fallen star is an option, guys. Step it through, reach it over. Take it back. Back through, you know what's coming down, we're facing dog. Let's take a vinyasa flow. Let's inhale, forward to plank. Drop the knees, lower down. Inhale, take a cobra. Let's breathe out, sit back into our child's pose. Hips onto heels, heart to mat, arms out in front. Easy breaths, maybe taking a little bit more of an energizing stretch through the arms. Couple of long breaths here. Feeling it into the shoulders, feeling it into the back. Let's bring it up into all fours. We're going to stay down on the floor now. We're going to inhale. We're going to take left arm, right leg, rise up, hip height. Try not to collapse through the tummy. Straighten the arms, strong through the body. Lifting, holding parallel. Let's flex that toe in towards the body. Breathe out, elbow to knee. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hug it in. Lift out. Ground the hand. Hold it strong, little rock if you need it. Just stretch out those wrists. We're going to change sides. Right hand, left leg. Elbow in. Inhale, open. Let's take a few more here. Working through. Flex that toe stronger through the leg, especially if you get cramp. Last one. Reset to tabletop. Feeling it strong through the core. We're going to come forward, walk it into a half plank position. Come down onto your elbows. Hold it here. We're going to tuck under the toes. We're going to start to walk in. We're coming into a dolphin. Lift the hips high in the air. Take the feet a little wider if it feels better for you here. And melt those ears into the armpits. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling. It's a big deep stretch through your shoulders. Listen to your body. Couple of breaths. Let's bring it forward, back to our plank. We're going to melt the hips on the floor. We're going to lift into Sphinx here. Heart forward, palms on the floor. Pull that heart towards the front of the mat. Think about pressing your elbows into the mat, drawing them in towards the body, sinking that pelvis into the mat. Feel how that engages the lower back. Easy breaths. Let's lower down, take a little stretch. We're just prepping the back here, coming in, thinking about coming into bow pose. Little reverse stretch, maybe come into that cat stretch. Moving backwards and forwards before we come back down onto the mat, lower down. We're going to take a half bow, so I want you to bring your right foot in towards your hips. Take hold, top of the foot. Stretching through the quads. Let's reach the left hand out in front. And we're going to see if we can lift the leg off the mat, the chest and the arm off at the front. Into our bow pose. So we're pushing into that hand, creating that tension. Couple of breaths here. So release and lower down. Let's change sides. Left heel in. Take that stretch. Reach the right hand out. Now we're going to start to see if we can lift away from the mat. Stretching through those quads. Easy breaths, guys. Beautiful. Try and maintain that steady, even breath. Couple more breaths here. In and out. And lower down onto that mat. Well done, guys. Now we're going to finish with a little bit of locust, so a bit of back bending in here today. Bring the hands round by the side, face the palms up to the ceiling. Start to lift the arms, lift the head, lift the shoulders, lift the legs. Eye line stays down to the mat. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Holding strong. Building that strength in the back. And release. Let's counter. Bring the hands under the shoulders all the way into your cat stretch. And release. We're going to sit down on the heels. We're going to bring it to seated. I'm going to get you to come into staff pose. Bring those legs out in front. Flex the toes up towards the ceiling. Relax your shoulders. Beautiful here. Sitting as tall as we can, stacking the heart over the pelvis, head over the heart. We're going to inhale, deep breath. In through the nose, exhale, forward fold. Bring those hands either side of the legs if you can't reach your toes, or on the front of the shins. Beautiful, let's inhale, rise up. I'm going to get you to bring your right foot in so it rests on the inside of the thigh. Flex the toes. Take a single leg fold. Intense stretch of the west as we lean forwards. Pull that heart forwards. We are into our stretch phase. Little changes in body position. Sit it tall. Bring the right hand over the head. See if we can come to the outside edge of our leg, the outside edge of the foot. twisting into this stretch, working in deep into that fascia in the lower back. Inhale, rise up. We're going to take this leg, we're going to cross over just the ankle but above the knee. And we're going to bend that knee. So we're coming into this seated pigeon pose. Little rock from side to side. Breathe into the hips. Now set in stillness and see if we can walk that heel a little bit closer in towards the bottom. Work at pushing this top knee away from you. So point pushing it towards the toe on the other side. Open through that hip. So bring that front through, cross the legs over and come into this stack pose. Now if you're not comfortable with your legs stacked, keep this bottom leg out in front. Hold it here. We're going to come into some eagle arms. Let's bring the arm through. So we're coming through with the opposite arm. Feed the other arm in underneath. Wrap it around, stretch through the shoulders. Shake. Bring the left foot in towards the inside of the thigh. Let's take that intense stretch of the west. Let's inhale, reach up, down for the toes. Lift the heart, the eye line towards the toe. Sit it up. Let's take that left arm up. Breathe out. Come over to the side. We've got this twisted stretch. Got that hand out for support. We're going to cross our foot over, create that nice little figure of four, bend the knee. Little bit of movement just as we start to relax into the hips. Settle into stillness, think about pushing that top knee away from the body. Feel how that intensifies that stretch. Start thinking about bringing those legs into that stack pose. Tuck it in, bring it forwards. Hold it here, opposite arm up. Bring the elbow through and spiral those arms together. Beautiful, team. Big stretch through the shoulders. Unwind those arms, unwind those legs, bring them out in front, give them a little shake. We're going to come into a cross-leg position. Allow those knees to melt down towards the floor, rest the hands on the knees, soften your shoulders. Take some easy breaths. Let's inhale, hands over the head. We're going to take a twist over to the right hand side, gentle twist, look over the shoulder. Focusing on that breath, coming deep into the belly. Inhale. Take the hands to the left hand side, look over the shoulder, lift the heart. Rest the hands on the knees. I want you to sit as tall as you can. We're going take some nice cleansing breaths. We're going to breathe in through the nose to make sure you're taking a full breath in. And then we're going to sigh out through the mouth, empty those lungs. As we're breathing in, I want you to focus on re-energizing, charging the body, breathing in new energy. As you sigh out, let go of anything that isn't serving you well. Let's take a few more here. Breath in. Sigh out. Let's take a few more here. To the heart. Let's take a moment to focus on the feeling of gratitude. Take that feeling into the heart and let it resonate through the body. Thank yourself for coming to the mat. Thank the other yogis for signing on this morning and joining the practice. And thank you for letting me take you through your flow this morning. Namaste. Well done, team. That is your YogaFlex done this morning. Any questions, any feedback, please let me know.